Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Director of the Massachusetts General Hospital Cancer Center, Dr. Daniel Haber.
Thank you very much for joining our second annual celebration of the 100. We're very grateful to the 2009 100 Committee and our co-chairs, Jay Monahan and Christopher and Marianne Lee Cooper, for the time, the energy, and the talent that they put into creating this wonderful evening. On behalf of all of us at the Mass General Cancer Center, I want to congratulate each of you who are among the 100 we recognize tonight for your outstanding clinical skills and your scientific discoveries, for your generous philanthropy and your energetic commitments, for your profoundly moving personal stories, and the hope and passion that you share with all of us who are here today as we celebrate your contributions to the fight against cancer. The 100 is a new tradition at the Mass General Cancer Center that goes to the heart of who we are, what we do, and how we do it. Our 2009 honorees are individuals and groups working both within and beyond our institution. Tonight they join us from 13 states. They include Stephen and Michelle Kirsch, whose Silicon Valley Foundation is focused on finding a cure for a rare blood cancer. Dr. Andrew Hertler, founding director of the Harold Alfond Center for Cancer Care in Augusta, Maine. Dr. Ken Anderson, a world authority on multiple myeloma at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. And from MGH, Dr. Henry Mankin and Herman Soot, who together changed the treatment of sarcoma. Dr. Bill Shipley, known for his work on cancer of the bladder. Mary Swimmer, a nurse and social worker who counsels brain tumor patients, and so many more who are here tonight and whose pictures you are seeing on screens and in the books that you will be receiving. Making a difference in cancer happens one patient at a time. One patient, Linnea Duff, told the Boston Globe, "The thing with cancer is that if you can just hold on, there's always the chance that there will be a new discovery right around the corner." For those who are affected by cancer, that's really the essence: time, hope, and the need for new discoveries. When it comes to new discoveries, the Mass General Cancer Center has emerged as an international leader in the field of personalized cancer medicine, using targeted or smart drugs to attack specific vulnerabilities caused by abnormalities in the DNA of cancer cells. Cancer therapy of the future will depend on the genetic makeup of a tumor rather than its location, and analyzing the DNA of each tumor will be critical to match the right drug with the right patient. This past March, we in fact became the first hospital in the nation to make tumor DNA testing a standard part of the analysis right within the pathology lab. Time is always short for patients who have cancer. Gleevec, the magical drug that effectively treats chronic myeloid leukemia, is now taken for granted, but I vividly recall patients who died of this leukemia before Gleevec became available 10 years ago. And 5 years ago, we showed that patients whose lung cancer has a mutation in the EGFR gene have dramatic responses to drugs that target the EGFR gene. And just last week at the National Cancer Meetings, Dr. Eunice Kwok from MGH reported a second genetic abnormality in another gene, this time called ALK, that predicts spectacular responses of lung cancer to yet another targeted drug treatment. And if you watched the ABC News last night, this was reported as well. And we're now seeing this play out in other cancers like melanoma, where another targeted agent is now causing responses in tumors with a mutation of another gene called BRAF. And the leader of that study, Dr. Keith Flaherty from the University of Pennsylvania, will be joining our Mass General Cancer Center faculty next month to lead our new developmental therapeutics program. So just in the past year, we have initiated major efforts to accelerate the pace of laboratory discovery and the speed with which all this information can be put into practice. Under the leadership of Dr. Jeff Settleman, we received an $8 million grant from the Wellcome Trust in the UK to establish a partnership with the Sanger Center, one of the world's leading centers for genetics research, to study the individual patterns of drug response that underlie personalized cancer therapy. And just last week, we received a $15 million grant from the National Telethon Stand Up to Cancer to lead a national consortium including MIT, Dana-Farber, Sloan Kettering, and MD Anderson cancer centers in developing our nanotechnology expertise for the detection of circulating tumor cells in the blood of patients with cancer. These generous gifts are helping us move forward in critical areas that hold tremendous promise, but there is so much more that needs to be done in cancer research if we're to translate hope into reality. And hope is what tonight's dinner is all about. That hope comes from the energy which is in this room, from all of you who have given of your time, your skills, your efforts, and your financial support. We are, of course, going through a very difficult financial time, and the irony is that the shrinking budgets are hitting us precisely at a time of greatest promise in the history of cancer research. The Mass General has a long history of general supporters, and our 2009 100 honorees include some of our very first donors. Jessie Bancroft, whose visionary gift in 1970 established the Cox Building, the home of cancer care at Mass General for 3 decades. Her sister, Jane Bancroft Steele Cook, who made the gift in 1975 that established the Steele Laboratory for Tumor Biology. Tonight's honorees also include a new generation of donors, the family and friends of Jennifer Hunter Yates, who in 2004 created a foundation in her memory supporting research on sarcomas, and Susan Zucker, who after her husband Michael died of lung cancer, waged a grassroots campaign together with her sons Matthew and Jonathan to establish our state's Conquer Cancer license plate, which supports cancer research and patient care. Each and every one of our 100 honorees has a special stories. Their pictures have been flashing on the screens, and I've mentioned some of their names, and you will hear others during the course of this evening. There are 100 of them this year, there will be 100 of them next year, and every year after that. And that's really the biggest reason for hope in the war against cancer, the fact that every day there are so many who are helping in so many ways, who are giving of themselves and committing themselves to making a difference, so that one day we truly will have conquered cancer. Thank you. Our next 100 honoree is the award-winning filmmaker Linda Garman. Linda made a documentary about cancer which featured patients and physicians, including Dr. David Ryan, our Deputy Chief of Oncology and Director of the Tucker Gosnell Center for Gastrointestinal Cancers at the Mass General Cancer Center. Dr. Ryan, incidentally, is also himself being honored tonight as one of the 100s for being one of our most outstanding physicians. Dr. Ryan will introduce a story of Linda Garman, whose film The Truth About Cancer was broadcast nationwide on PBS in April 2008.